So, when I first started Sweets Kendamas, one of the original ideas was to make the kendamas here in the United States. I didn't know much about international sourcing, and knowing that I needed to get kendamas in America as fast as I could, I thought the fastest way to do it was to make them all here. After doing a little research and prototyping out a few, I found that that was not the case. Most people don't have the tools to turn a kendama. In the beginning, I realized very fast that it wasn't going to be possible to make kendamas here in the United States. We started making them overseas in order to get a base going, in order to be able to sell some kendamas and make some money. And the second we had enough money to invest in our own manufacturing facility, we did. And that was the Homegrown factory. It was a painstaking process to find a company that would actually make a homegrown kendama. Gabe is the dude who found the factory in the very end of the day. He spent a good 20 minutes to a half hour to an hour every day just Google searching wood turners.
My name is Gabe Clem. I'm the CEO and a partner here, and I've been here since 2010. Well, I started by looking up different companies that did woodworking, especially custom turning. Most of them wouldn't give me the time of day or wouldn't give us the time of day. Not that much American manufacturing left anymore, so when I tried to find someone to make kendamas, there wasn't a whole lot of options. But through tons and tons and tons of different Google searching, I finally found a company that happened to be in Brooklyn, Minnesota, which is right in our backyard, so it couldn't be any better.
Production leader for Glacial Wood. Minnesota, we are the makers of Homegrown and the makers of the trophy that's the damn kale. What I do in the process of Homegrown is I oversee the production from the very beginning, ordering materials, all the way through to making sure that the shipping is getting them out when we need them to go out.
It was really crazy in the beginning because they thought we were just as crazy as other people, but they actually gave us a chance to work on it.
Gabe and Sweets came in, and they kind of asked, well, can you do it? And I'm thinking, yes, I can. Usually, if I see something I can do, we will figure out a way how to do it. Well, I really liked the research and development on the project from the very beginning. That was my absolute funnest time, because I got to figure out how we were going to make these parts.
The hardest part was creating the first design. After that, it's tweaking to make the most perfect kendama. Because after you make a kendama, you realize there's things that you can change to make it better always. Some things we did from Sweets, from the first gen to the second gen, to really make it different is we changed from a bullet tip to a more pointy tip. The cups we made a little bit bigger, a couple millimeters bigger to grab lunars a little bit easier, also add a little bit more weight to the serrato. We took a little bit of weight out down by the ring stalls, which actually pronounces them a little bit more, which makes the stall easier, and we're taking out a little weight, which helps with the lunar balance as well. So I think with Homegrown, we've changed a lot of things, but there's still places for it to go. There's always something new you can do, and there's always a little tweak that you can make to make your kendama a little bit better.
The team that goes into building, that is one of the most important guys are running your parts all day, every day. It's important that they're the key.
My name is Ryan Felton. I am a lathe operator here at Glacial Wood Products, and I've been here about just over 4 years. I jump around from either turning the tamas or drilling them, sanding the ends off of them. I have more work with the tamas. The wrecking ball, that one was 100% me, so I had to figure out on one of the old, all mechanical lathes how to turn out the cups and turn it all together.
My name is Sheila Holm. I work in shipping and receiving. I box and ship the parts. When we first started, I got to do a lot of Saturdays, and it was fun. You know, it was something that we all had to learn. If you sand too much, you know, then the ball's not the correct size, and then they're no good. So it's really a hands-on thing where I got to be a part of it, which was a lot of fun.
One of the most difficult parts about making a kendama, and I know John shares this with me, is making the tama.
Keeping the balls round is one of the hardest things there is.
Getting round tamas is something that our Chinese manufacturers still can't do for us after 5 years of producing kendamas.
We can make egg-shaped balls. That's easy. We want them to be nice, perfect round balls. And that's been the biggest challenge, and I think we've conquered it.
It took all of us on a Saturday just to try to meet some of the stuff because we didn't have a lot of the equipment then.
Once they let us sell, we were selling out faster than they could make them because they didn't have any tools to do it.
Since we started turning them to now, we got custom machinery, custom jigs, and tooling.
If we buy machinery that can crank these out, 10,000 in a day, you're going to lose quality. So we've determined that the only way that we can keep the quantities growing is by replicating what we already have figured out.
So very fast they realized that it was a viable business, but it took someone who was willing to take a chance on us to make all that happen, and that's where Glacial Wood came in, so they were very helpful. We cannot thank Glacial Woods enough for being the title sponsor of this year's MKO.
MKO wouldn't happen without Glacial.
We would not have been able to have as good of a time as we did this year and do as many of the unique things like live streaming that we did this year. There's this gray area where a production facility doesn't quite understand what happens to the stuff once it leaves their facility. At the Homegrown factory, they have taken the time to learn what happens to their products once they leave their factory.
I look on Instagram and stuff like that to kind of try and keep up and see what you guys are all doing. It's just fantastic.
We couldn't be happier to have such an understanding facility to be working with that really cares about kendama and doesn't just care about the bottom line. And with them being the title sponsor of our event, it just shows that tenfold, so we're very thankful for those guys. It's given us some great opportunities to collab with some companies, one being the Arbor Day Foundation. For every homegrown that's purchased, we plant a tree. And with the amount of homegrowns we sell, we're going to be able to make a pretty big difference with the Arbor Day Foundation this year.
I think Homegrown has really surprised all of us by the success it's had outside of the United States.
The worldwide success of the homegrown, that's been awesome.
Born and raised in this area, I never knew there was such a big turning shop in Bruton, and now I know my parts are going worldwide, and I'm from a small town. It blows my mind.
We're actually a part of that, so I'm proud of it.
The possibilities are endless with Homegrown.
I don't think that there's anything that they can't do.
That's where I have the most fun, is looking into making some of the crazy things you guys want.
Like I said earlier, with the factory that cares as much about kendama and has as much technology as the Homegrown factory does, the only limitations we have are our minds. I can tell you for sure that we're working on a lot of new colored spectras and a lot of cool things in that area. We're working on new stripes all the time, and we're always working on different types of wood that are the best for kendama. Homegrowns wouldn't be half as popular as they are, and they wouldn't have half the reputation as they did if it wasn't for all our awesome fans that follow Sweets Kendamas. Without all our fans and all our customers, Homegrown would be just another kendama, but thanks to all our loyal fans, we are able to call it one of the best kendamas in the world. I think I really stand by that and like to say that because some of the best players in the world compete with them, and we really truly believe that it's one of the best kendamas money can buy, for real. I don't play kendama often, but when I do, I play homegrown.